This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy Election Day. Happy Tuesday. It is the Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana law says it's your vehicle, it's your choice. Where you have it repaired, choose Capital Collision Center. We are inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave on a beautiful day in the state of Montana and across the nation. If you are in line to vote, you have until 8 p.m. tonight to get into line. And if you are in line, it's law. You get to vote if you're in line by 8 p.m. So make sure you stay in line and get your vote out. Okay? Speaking of, Senator Steve Daines making the rounds today, and we'll talk to him here in a second. Tim McMahon will join us coming up, the Helena Activities Director. Helena Schools Activities Director. That is, we'll talk some playoffs. Volleyball, of course, tonight. Is Helena High going to be able to play in volleyball? And we'll talk to Tim McMahon about that coming up on this day in history, and some presidential knowledge. Some presidential on this day in history, and some presidential just history in general. It's election day, so we're going to talk a little bit about this. Let's see. I got the walk-off coming up as well. So, all right, let's get started. Our daily Montana COVID update, and as we re-enter, we had a lot of computer issues the last couple of days. I think everything's okay now. I don't know. It could be big tech. Who knows? Big tech shutting us down. Censoring the Jason Walker Show, right? If you did get out and oh, by the way, while we're waiting for that to pull up, there is a poll. I decided to fall in with the crowd. Who wins the election? Trump, Biden? You can vote at J Walker Sports on the Twitter, or you can weigh in Facebook. You can tweet us and email Jason at jasonwalkershow.com. You can call into the show as well if you want, or text. So that's taking a while to load, so that's fun stuff. Apparently we don't have all of our computer stuff fixed and resolved. I will tell you that Sam Fetzer will join us tomorrow. Sam is the husband of Michaela Boyette, a Carroll College softball player, seriously injured in a car wreck October 23rd. And we'll talk to Sam about her recovery. And I believe they just got her to Salt Lake City yesterday. So we'll talk to Sam tomorrow. Lots of bad injury. Collapsed lung, brain injury, leg surgeries, broken bones. Nicole Rigoni, of course, on Thursday. Sean Gleason, PBR CEO, will join us Thursday as well. Brian Haynes will join us, race director for the Governor's Cup, on Friday, and then Barry Abrams will preview the Breeders' Cup for us. So, all right, 909 new cases, 35,159 total confirmed, 399 have passed away, 389 currently in the hospital. 21,990 Montanans have recovered, 12,770 currently active cases. Yellowstone County, 2841, Cascade, 1428, 1381 in Gallatin, 1056 Missoula, 999 in Flathead, 895 Lewis and Clark, as far as our bigger counties. And 452 in Hill County, up on the High Line, and 433 Roosevelt. and every county in Montana with at least one active case, except for Prairie County out in eastern Montana. All right, there's your COVID update. Speaking of COVID, we told you yesterday that Helena High volleyball had a positive case, and we questioned if they were going to be able to play volleyball tonight as they host Flathead. It appears that will happen, and we'll get the reasoning why with Tim McMahon coming up. CMR, the whole school shut down today. Volleyball, however, still a go. The Rustlers, the number 1 seed in the East, hosting Belgrade tonight. That match will be played at 5:30 at Great Falls High because CMR school closed down today because of COVID. So there is that. All right. Do I want to talk about this now or wait? I think we'll wait. Till later on. Glasgow club wrestling coach. Yeah, we'll talk about him coming up a little bit later on because he's in. You'll be shocked if you haven't heard this story before. Today, you will be shocked at what's going on over in Glasgow. Unbelievable. All right, but it is election day. It is get out and vote. And if you have now, there's a lot of mail-in ballots already, which is great. Montana counties, I saw a map of the requested ballots for both absentee and mail-in, but the requested ballots and then the ballots that have already been collected and returned, high 88, 85 to 90%. Across the country, numbers are going to just shatter. And they're calling for possibly 67% voter turnout across the nation, which would be the highest in over 100 years. But just in Montana, already the mail-in and the absentee ballots, I believe, are more than what the previous vote in 2016 total. And that includes voting in person, which you can still do in Montana until 8 p.m. tonight. And joining us now, had a chance to catch up with him early this morning, Senator Steve Daines, and basically we talked about just staying in line. He joins us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, third time here in the last couple of weeks, Senator. It is the final day to get out and vote, and that is the big message, I'm sure.
It really is. Montanans have a chance to make their voice heard loud and clear, not only for our great state, but for the nation. In the last 48 hours, I've literally been from Libby to Sydney, edge to edge across Montana, with a stop in Lewistown. So it's great to see all the enthusiasm out there. Montanans are voting at a record level. But what's important is that though today is election day, for those Montanans who haven't yet turned in their ballots, if they're in a all mail-in county, or if they vote on election day, and with 10 counties have it such that way across Montana, the message is this: make sure you get out and vote. Really important. In fact, the Montanans who vote today may indeed decide this election. It's very, very close. Every vote's going to matter. I just encourage all Montanans to get out and exercise that important right.
How are you going to spend today?
We're home today. I've been all over Montana, and I got to tell you, Jason, it's been such an exciting and encouraging time to be traveling across Montana. Saturday night, we were up in Kalispell. We had Donald Trump Jr. and Ted Nugent at a rally. And it was just, that's a night, it was Halloween night, it was a blue moon that night. It was just a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. But I'll be home today. Our kids are all home. They all came back last night. Grandma's got everybody in the house. We have 4 children and our 2 grandchildren and their spouses. They're all here. So we'll be spending time with family today. Our 3 dogs. Literally, it's nice to wake up this morning, have a cup of coffee, and be hanging out with my dogs. So that it'll be a family day. Tonight we'll be together. My folks will be joining us as well. Mom and Dad live here in Bozeman. Dad's 81, Mom's 78. We'll all be together to watch the returns come in.
And what is that like, just waiting?
Well, it's an interesting moment because there's so much at stake. It's not just these races across Montana that are so important, but watching what's going to happen nationally as well. We're just at a pivotal moment in our nation's history. This nation will go one of two directions following this election. And, it's always been said that elections have consequences. I think this particular election has more consequences than perhaps anything we've seen before, certainly in my lifetime. And so we'll just wait. And the bottom line is this, the radio ads, the TV ads, all the mailboxes full of mailers, the digital ads, the candidates have had a chance to make their voice heard. Today's the day the voters get to have their voice heard. And they get the last say in America. And it's an incredible opportunity we have where our founding fathers delegated the powers to the people. And today, the people get to exercise that important right to vote. I just want to encourage everyone, if you haven't turned in that ballot yet, just get it done. It's such a beautiful day across Montana. You might have to wait a little while, but you think about those who have literally given their lives on the battlefield to protect our freedoms and this incredible right we have to vote. We just need to make sure every Montanan gets out and exercise that important right. And if you haven't done it yet today, make sure you make it happen.
Senator Steve Daines joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Senator, when you tell people to get out and vote, and absolutely, and it's my opinion, you can't whine, you can't complain if you don't get out and exercise that right to vote. Here's the big deal. If you are in line at 8 p.m. tonight in Montana, stay in line because you will still get a chance to vote if you're in line. So stay in line. Don't read the exit polls. Don't read any of that stuff. Just stay in line and get your vote in.
Really important. You wouldn't want to wake up on Wednesday and find out that some of these races were decided just a few votes, which it could be that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I remember back in 2006, we had a big Senate race. That was when Conrad Burns was running for re-election. That race came down to literally 30 votes per county across Montana. If 30 votes per county would have switched the other way, Conrad Burns would have won that race back in 2006. So I know sometimes you might see that ballot laying on the kitchen table saying, one vote's not going to make a difference. I just think it very well could. And so that's why I just want to encourage everybody who is listening today to make sure they get out and vote, because with these tight races across Montana, we're electing a new governor, we've got a Senate race, a House race, all these important races. These votes that are cast today literally might make the difference around who wins and who loses. So it's just a strong urge to get out and vote. And I think it's important to try to get out early, too. I think we're going to have some long lines today. And to your point, Jason, please just stay in line, run through the tape and get it done, because so much is at stake right now for our country and for our state.
Well, we appreciate you joining us as much as you have the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we're talking again soon this week. It would be great. Enjoy the results tonight, and enjoy the day with the family, and good luck.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot, Jason. Appreciate it.
Senator Steve Daines joining us, and he's in a tight battle with Governor Steve Bullock. And, we've heard a lot from Senator Daines, heard nothing from Steve Bullock during this election time, and that's fine. That's it's up to them who wants to come on or not, and not be scared. So get out and vote. And if, a lot of people get off work at 5:30, 6, take your ballot down if you have not already. Go get in line to vote if you need to, and just stay in line. It's literally important for you to vote today. And like I said, you can't complain and whine and moan and whatever if you don't vote. And if it doesn't go who you like, unless you voted, you can't complain. And that's my personal feeling. You can go on Twitter and vote who wins tonight, Biden or Trump, at Jaywalker Sports on the Twitter. And we'll give you some results coming up. Great message from Sue, said, please stay online for the next 6 hours to take my mind off election night. I wish, Sue. Trust me, I wish. But I got to get the little one fed. I got to get the little one to, help with bath and bed and read books and all that stuff. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It would be fun to stay online and give election results as they come in. But, Sue, I'm sorry. You can just rewatch old Jason Walker shows. In fact, that's a great idea. If you don't want to hear about the election results or any of that, just or worry about what's going on with the pontificators on each network and all that stuff, just watch old reruns of the Jason Walker show. Okay? Just go to jasonwalkershow.com. You've got them all there going back to December. I think that's what you should do. I think that's a hell of an idea. Sue, that I won't be live, but that gave me a great idea. So there you go, Sue. You can watch old Jason Walker shows all night tonight. Like, it will literally, I mean, we've done more than enough shows to get you through, like you can binge watch as many as you want. And you can pick and choose on, we had John Tafford this year. We've had Luke Denherter to locally wise. We've had great guests, local, statewide, national, international. So yeah, just watch old shows. There you go. All right, take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk playoffs with Tim McMahon and much more. We are having some issues on the Facebook live stream, so we'll get that back up too. But Tim McMahon joins us next. Hang on.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Jason Walker here, and I want to tell you about a great place that's going to make you feel better in just an hour. Ocean Spirit Massage. From deep tissue to hot stone and more, Ocean Spirit Massage will get your sore, tired muscles feeling like new. Whether you overdid it working out, hiking the hills, playing golf, whatever it is, or even if you're pregnant, you will walk away feeling better than you have in years. Book now for yourself or make it a couples massage. And gift certificates are always available as well. Visit oceanspiritmassage.com or call 417-0542.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, and we understand we're having some issues on the Facebook, so you can rewatch the show at any time, jasonwalkershow.com later. So we're working on the Facebook stream as we speak. But if you're listening, you can go over to YouTube or Twitter. And by the way, Twitter is where you can vote who wins tonight, or the election, I guess, because it may not be done tonight, but who wins, Trump or Biden. And you can get your votes in at J Walker Sports on the Twitter, and it's the letter J, so at J Walker, because that's my name. All right, I got some volleyball coming up tonight in Helena and across the state for the AA first round of the state playoffs. Doing a little bit different this year, and it's like a ballot, not a ballot. It's like a bracket. It's like football. Wow, election on the brain. It's like football. You lose, you're done. There's no circling back through the losers bracket, and it's not double elimination. Joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline to chat about this fall is the activities director at Helena Public Schools, Tim McMahon. Well, first off, I appreciate you joining us. This has been a challenging year, one of which we've talked about a few times. But how you holding up?
Pretty well. The season has gone, the fall sports season's gone all in all pretty well. I think everyone would tell you we've gotten further than we thought we were going to get way back in August, and now everyone's anxious to, we're down now to finishing up volleyball and finishing up football and getting complete seasons done.
You're very right, because there was a lot of people that thought, myself included, that we were not going to get here, and now we are, and across the state. The sad part is we've seen, Mr. McMahon, some schools like Loyola, Big Sky Volleyball, Loyola Girls Soccer have to pull out of the playoffs. That's unfortunate. And I wanted to ask you about Helena High, because I know that there was a test last week. Some girls were in quarantine, but all in all, seems good and for matches tonight?
We are good, and we'll go ahead and play tonight. Things will be fine. It arose that we just had to finish it. We had to be able to be sure that we had followed our process all the way to the end. We kept them home on Saturday from some matches up in Kalispell because that process wasn't done. And Helena, the district, I think all districts are always going to do what they have to ensure safety and security for kids before anything else.
Tim McMahon joining us, Jason Walker Show. He is the activities director for Helena Schools. You got the host state tournament for a state championship match for soccer last week. Glacier winning its first. Now you've got volleyball tonight with Helena High hosting Flathead. And this is an exciting time of the year for these kids. And like we've talked about, it was all about getting for the kids to have their seasons. And we have. And like we mentioned, we didn't think we were going to get this far. But how proud of you are, or how proud of the administration, the schools, the teachers, the kids, the coaches, everybody to be able to get to this point?
I think everybody in the district is incredibly proud, especially of kids, because ultimately the kids were the ones that had to make sure that they followed through with the protocols and the procedures in order for this to be able to continue. And like anything else, human nature is what human nature is. Some programs, some kids probably did a better job of it than others, but the fact remains that we've reached a point where we've crowned state champions in golf, in soccer, in cross country. We're 2 weeks away from volleyball and the AA being done, 3 weeks away from football. So, yeah, you're really proud of all of them. And the coaches have spent an incredible amount of time trying to figure this out as well. and keep their kids safe and still move forward. So yeah, very proud of them all.
You had some issues with parents, but overall things pretty smooth. It looks as if that goes as well, or on that front as well.
Yeah, there's always going to be blips. I guess I'd say what I said a month and a half ago. I hope people can look at the end of our seasons and as we approach winter seasons and can approach it that for a couple hours a day or a couple hours once a week, come and watch your kid play. Let the politics and all the rest of it go. Let's do what we have to do. We all say we'll do whatever we have to let our kids play their games. Well, then let's do that. And let's go ahead and if you got to wear a mask, wear a mask. If we have to limit spectators, we have to limit them. Your kids are still getting to play.
With the postseason, MHSA says that you can have, is it more fans in the stands a little bit? How does this all work for tonight for the playoffs?
I think, honestly, for across the state, for some, it's more fans could be allowed. For some, it's actually fewer fans can be allowed. MHSA's rule was that you have to allow the same number per participant for both visiting and home.
Okay.
And that you couldn't exceed a maximum of 6 per participant. Helena is still at 2 as most of the AA. We'll host the volleyball playoff games today. We'll host some more on Saturday. I have hosting football game on Friday. We have a team going to Billings for a football playoff game on Friday. Billings and Helena, both at 2. 2 spectators per participant. I think Great Falls is at 3. Butte last weekend was at 4. So like everything else, it's different across the state of Montana, but by and large, the AA has been at 2.
Tim McMahon, our guest on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Moving into focus on winter sports a little bit, pushed it back 3 weeks. Yep. Practice starts now in December. Games start at the beginning of 2021. Can we do this full time? I think this is a great idea.
Well, I don't think you're alone in that, Jason. I think there's a lot of people across the state, coaches, or maybe some ADs, that like the break in between the end of a football state championship, which is the last thing in the AA is that football state championship. It's a week ahead of our week after volleyball is done, and having a break in between. It's something we've talked about a lot in the 3 years I've been doing this. I don't know if it'll become a permanent thing. I think the change MHSA made to the seasons was because of COVID. I mean, originally the winter seasons were supposed to start a week from next Monday, so they actually would have been overlapped again. But I know it's something that this year, given the situation and the pandemic, that MHSA just felt we have to put a 14-day break here. Hopefully it'll be something that we continue to discuss.
I'm so in favor of it. I think it's. I mean, we always talk about what is best for the kids. I think that's one of the things we should focus on too. With that winter sports season, a couple of sports that are a little bit more, and we'll talk about this, I'm sure, more in depth, but they're a little bit more close contact than volleyball and football. Concerns there?
You know, I've had discussions both with the local county health officials as well as some with MHSA. We're still waiting for some guidance from MHSA around what we can and can't do with our winter sports. For example, in cross country, they set some guidance in place that if we're going to have a meet, we couldn't have more than 200 kids at that meet. We're waiting for that kind of guidance from MHSA. They did for football, for example. There's a 60 personnel maximum in the AA for a sideline. Well, we haven't gotten that sort of stuff yet. The two that I think we're most interested in is the swimming and obviously with wrestling. What guidelines are you going to give us on sizes of events or restrictions on things we can and cannot do? And then I also, every one of us ADs has a different county health department. Right. And we're all going to have to work with our county health departments as well on what we can and cannot do. Swimming is an interesting one simply because of the lack of facilities. I think in the state there's 5 or 6 competition-sized pools. In Helena, we don't have one. We truly don't host an event in Helena because I don't have a big enough pool.
Right.
And so we count on some of those neighboring communities that have them. And traditionally, the swim season, very similar to wrestling, is largely large events. It's a lot of kids and a lot of teams and a lot of coaches all at once. and we all know that, group sizes become an issue. So we're interested to see how that plays out.
It's election day today. Are you as tired of all the ads and mailers and flyers as everybody else?
I think everybody in the city of Helena is tired of going to their mailbox, and I don't know about anybody else, but I stop at the trash can on my way into my house and sort mail. I'm ready to go back to just getting the mail I get.
The normal junk mail we usually get.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple final quick questions for you. I know you're a busy dude today, but going back to this season, I mean, this fall we've seen, things canceled because of COVID, obviously, smoke. We've seen, your stalker had to get pushed back days and sometimes a week because of weather. Craziest fall you've ever been a part of?
Easily the craziest fall. The COVID piece of it added a level, but given the smoke, given 2 consecutive weekends where we got multiple inches of snow, the first weekend we got 7 inches. The second weekend, at least at the airport, it was 17 inches. My own backyard was 20. And so, the weather has really created some interesting pieces to it as well. Yeah, it's been an interesting fall.
How do you stay positive through all of this?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I swim through, I tell people I swim through an ocean of issues every week, but I also get to watch kids do something they love every week. Every week I get to go watch kids smile doing something they love doing. And in the end, all that ocean that I swim through to get to that moment is worth it. It for me, it was like my own kids. I'm raising my own children. And the highlight of their week was the event they got. And I had some who were athletes. I had dancers and kids who were artists who didn't do activities or athletics. But whatever their issue was, that was the thing they loved to do. And for me, that still is a huge motivator, is being able to watch kids do things they love doing.
Because you go to practices too. I mean, this is you just love the kids so much that you'll hang out and watch practices, which as we all know in high school can be boring sometimes.
Well, and for me, a big part of my job is working with coaches, and I was a building principal for a long time as well. And the truth is, I never purposely watched a teacher give a test. The test results I can see. A game is actually just the test. The teaching occurs at a practice, just like when a classroom teacher, the teaching is not the day you're giving a test. It's every other day. And that's the stuff I love to watch. And I love to go watch kids practice and learn. And people who've been around education talk about the light bulb going on. Well, that doesn't just happen in an English class. That happens on a basketball court, or that happens in a cross country practice, or on a track with a hurdler, where all of a sudden everything you taught makes sense to that child, and you just see it, and you see this kid's confidence take off. Yeah, that's the best part of this job, without any doubt.
You're awesome, man. I love talking to you and other administrators about the positivity, because you guys do keep it positive through a slurry of negativity at times, and we appreciate what you do, man. It's not easy, and I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. There's no question about that.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a great job, and yes, there's been some challenges this year, and there's a lot of emotion. I think in everything that we're doing in society, in my business and education, I tip my hat to classroom teachers and building administrators who are focused so hard on just trying to make sure our kids get their education. The emotion that comes out sometimes with the stuff that I do, that's natural, and that's okay too. But in the end, it should stay focused on kids, and it should stay focused on that they're not parent memories, they're kid memories. And that's what I try to focus on. We had a crosstown football game a couple weeks ago in a blizzard, and 50 years from now, those kids are going to be talking not about who won and lost. They're really not. They're going to be talking about playing football in a blizzard. That's the memory. And it's pretty cool when the kids after the game, that's what they're talking about.
Oh, hands down, for sure. Appreciate your time. Have fun at volleyball tonight, football Friday, volleyball Saturday. I mean, you're just a busy guy. But keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great afternoon.
Tim McMahon, Helena Public Schools Activities Director on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And the Bengals play tonight at home. Capital will play at home throughout the playoffs as long as they win. In the volleyball, you've got, of course, Helena hosting Bozeman Friday in football. You've got West hosting Capital on Friday night in AA playoffs. So lots of great stuff going on across the state, including here in Helena. All right, polls close in Montana in about, 3.5 hours. So you still have time. Get off work, head down and vote. Now, I know we're having issues with Facebook. I can't fix it until afterwards, so we'll be hopefully back tomorrow. But the system we use has gone through some upgrades, so we have to follow their orders, so we're having a little bit of issues. But JasonWalkerShow.com will have everything up after the show, including that interview with Tim McMahon, also Senator Steve Daines. We'll come back. There's a wrestling coach in Glasgow, not at the high school, club coach, but he's an idiot, and he's a complete moron. We'll tell you why next. Jason Walker Show.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Make sure you check out Mark online for Christmas ideas. I know it's just past Halloween, but you've got to start thinking about Christmas presents. And Mark has some fantastic photos that would be a great addition to your office, your family's room, kids if they're off to college, horses, landscapes. It's just unbelievable stuff. MarkLaRoePhotography.com. All right, so I saw this last night. It was sent to me, and did some research, looked in on it, and thought, oh my gosh, we have to talk about it. Glasgow wrestling coach. This is the headline from Color8.com. Billings. Glasgow wrestling coach issues apology after dressing as KKK member for Halloween. Yep, you heard that right. Dumbass in Glasgow thought, in 2020, with all of the riots that have happened and social justice and everything, I'm going to go ahead and dress up as a KKK member, hood and all. And we're showing it. Again, you can watch on JasonWalkerShow.com after the show. But there you go. All right. What's this jackwagon's name? Luke Morehouse says, I, quote, Luke Morehouse would like to publicly apologize for the distasteful and disgusting costume. It was highly inappropriate, and I feel horrible to the people and businesses that my behavior has hurt. I did not think of the repercussion, and I am truly sorry. What started out as an innocent costume escalated. There are no excuses for it, and I cannot take that back. End quote. Innocent. In what world is wearing a KKK costume an innocent costume that escalates? Somebody help me out. In what world is that okay? So, the Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture in Glasgow issued a statement that basically said the symbol of racism, violence, and fear as, quote, just a costume is disrespectful and flies in the face of who we are as a community and a state. This dude needs to learn it. He needs to lose his job, for one. Luke, what's his name? Luke Morehouse? Like, I'm at a loss. Like, at what point do you think, hey, this is a good idea? And then, so he does this, and he wears this outfit, KKK costume, to a bar, to a costume contest where he's voted as the winner. That's right. So the city of Glasgow and its residents promoted this guy as a winner. Like, serious? The bar issued a statement saying, in part, that as far as the costume contest voted on by the patrons, we deeply apologize to the public and community. This no way reflects our views as business owners and employees. So if you're in Glasgow, Montana, Sam and Jeff's and Dink's Bar allowed him to wear this costume. In the first place, you allowed him to walk through the door and then allowed people to vote and say, oh, KKK dude gets the win. I'm going to show it to you again. Not that you need to know what it looks like, but that's exactly what it looks like. That's him, Luke Morehouse, in the bar in Glasgow, Saturday night. I mean, there's no words to describe this type of jackassery. Is that even a word? The dude needs to lose his job. He's a club coach in wrestling, so he's not a high school coach that we're aware of. But you can't be teaching little kids the great sport of wrestling, dressing like a member of the KKK. What the hell's wrong with you? Not to mention how wrong it is in general. Forget the last 100 years or 200 years or more. Just look back at what's gone on in this country since May. At what point do you sit there at home with your loved one or friends and go, you know what? I got the perfect idea for Halloween. I'm going to dress up with a hood and cut some holes in it and wear a white sheet. And then we're going to go out to the bars. That'll be a kick. Luke Morehouse is an idiot in Glasgow. And I'm sorry that Glasgow people have to deal with this guy. I'm even sorry that the people in Glasgow voted him at this bar to win a costume contest. The city of Glasgow, in addition, said, together we will work to elevate conversations about racial equality and take action as a community to combat racism wherever we find it. Good Lord, people. Good Lord. Luke Morehouse. Remember that name. Don't be a Luke. Don't Morehouse it. An innocent costume escalated. That's his excuse. No, your excuse is you're a dumbass. And I got no problem saying that. There's other words I would love to say, but I'll stick with that. Freaking idiot. All right. Tomorrow, Sam Fetzer scheduled to join us. Michaela Boyette Fetzer plays softball for Carroll College. She was seriously injured in a car wreck October 23rd. And you can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our Twitter page as well. And there's a GoFundMe.com set up for Michaela. And she needs your help. We read through this yesterday. We're going to read it again today. Just her injuries. A head-on collision outside of Ovando. 2 leg surgeries for a right compound tibia and fibula fracture. Left plate fracture and laceration to both knees. Patella rips. Left eye facial fracture, right lung collapse, 3rd-degree kidney injury, rib fractures, T1 vertebra fracture, diffuse axonal brain injury. They were trying to get her to Salt Lake yesterday. She is speaking and awake, but doesn't make sense when she talks and has short-term memory loss. So we'll check in with the family tomorrow. Her husband, Sam, set to join us. But go to Facebook.com, my personal page, Jason Walker. It's also on the show page, The Jason Walker Show. It's on Twitter as well. So we want to help out this young lady. Oh, man. I'm just this dude. Man, I can't believe he would dress up like that. All right, enough about that. What else is going on we wanted to hit on here? Get out and vote. Seriously, get out and vote. You have until 8 p.m. tonight. Now, you have to be in line by 8 p.m. tonight. If you're in line, they have to let you vote. That's a law. They have to let you in. You have until 8 to drop off your ballot. If it's after 8, it won't count. That's the law in Montana. Just follow a law. And you can go one way or the other about how you feel about ballots and counting and all that. Montana law says it has to be postmarked by 8 p.m. and delivered by 8 p.m. tonight to be able to be counted. So and you've had your ballot for a while now. Okay? And I don't think anything over the last couple of weeks has probably changed your mind on who you're voting for. So get out there and vote tonight. And if you have already voted, thank you. And by the way, for those people that are working the lines and working the election polling places, thank you. I would not want to be in your shoes either. Holy cow. A lot of shoes I don't want to be in this year. I'm glad I'm in mine. Also on Thursday, Nicole Rigoni, that's what she said. Sean Gleason, the PBR CEO, will join us. We're going to talk PBR World Finals that are next week in Dallas, Fort Worth area, Arlington, actually, at Globe Life Field. There's a new women's only finals, and we'll talk to him about that. The PBR is involved. Brian Haynes from the Gov Cup will join us. Barry Abrams on Fridays. We're going to talk human racing and horse racing. Got the Gov Cup registration starting soon. Also, the Breeders' Cup is Friday and Saturday. And I believe it's at Churchill Downs. Monday next week, Flint Rasmussen will join us. And some surprises, too. Plus, we'll also hear coaches this week, Scott Evans and Kyle Mahelish as well. So today is October. No, it's not. It's November 3rd. It is Election Day. It is Housewives Day and Sandwich Day. And I'm not one of those sexist jackwagons that's going to say they're perfect together because it's Housewife Sandwich Day. And you hear that, hey, go make me a sandwich. That's what they tell a lot of sports reporters that are women. And sexist dudes are asses. We have Nicole Rigoni on every Thursday because we support women in sports. And she does a great job. On this date in 1911, Chevrolet officially entered the automobile market in competition with the Ford Model T. 1913, speaking of women, the first modern elastic bra was patented by New York socialite Mary Phelps Jacob. Now, you'd think, so was it 2 weeks ago was National Bra Day, or last week? They should have had it today. I mean, today's the day that the patent was first. Elastic brasiers. Yes, this is a sports talk show mostly. 1934, New York Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig wins the AL Triple Crown, hits .363, 49 home runs, and 165 RBI. But Philadelphia A's catcher Mickey Cochran would be named MVP. Cochran hit .320 with 2 home runs and 76 RBI. So, not as good of an average by 43 points less, 47 less home runs, and almost 90 less RBI, 89 less RBI. But hey, you're the MVP. 1935, Philadelphia Eagles beat the Boston Redskins 7-6 at Fenway. The quarterbacks combined to throw 11 interceptions. It's like Ryan Leaf was playing for both teams. 1942, Boston Red Sox outfielder Ted Williams would win the American League Triple Crown, batting .356 with 36 home runs and 137 RBI. But Yankees pitcher Joe Gordon would win the MVP. That's the second year in a row that Teddy Ballgame, the greatest hitter in baseball history, was denied the MVP by a Yankee. In 1941, remember Ted hit .406? Joe DiMaggio won the MVP because he had a 56-game hit streak. 1962 on this date, Wilt Chamberlain of the San Francisco Warriors would score 72 points, then the 4th highest point total in NBA history. His 29 field goals and 14 free throws in that game. It is now the 6th highest game total. 1987, Mark McGwire wins the American League Rookie of the Year unanimously. He had 49 home runs his rookie year. 1996, on this date, Kobe Bryant became the then youngest player to make his NBA debut. 18 years, 2 months, 11 days in a win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. 2001, Arkansas beat Mississippi 58-56 in 7 overtimes. The longest game in NCAA football history. 2007, love when something like this happens. Navy beat Notre Dame 46-44 in triple overtime, ending the Irish's football record winning streak against the midshipmen at 43 games. The last Navy win prior to 2007 over Notre Dame, 1963. And anytime Notre Dame loses, it's a great thing. On this date in 1956, The Wizard of Oz was first televised on CBS television. On this date in 1988, let's see, can we show this? This happened. Geraldo. We had a brawl. Things got real. Remember this? The brawl with skinheads and African Americans. Yeah. And Geraldo got his nose broke. That was 1988. Geraldo got hit in the face with a chair. Remember that? Crazy. Let's see. What else happened on this date? 1921. Happy birthday, Charles Bronson. Loved him in Magnificent Seven. Was not a fan really of anything else, but Charles Bronson, one heck of an actor. There's no question about that. Happy birthday this day, 1957. This dude. Let's see, can we get to it?
Today, the Soviet Union has officially entered professional boxing.
This is not just an exhibition fight.
Great trailer.
This is us against them. What are you talking about? Come on.
Perhaps this simple defeat of this little so-called champion will be a perfect example of how
that guy's birthday. If he dies, he dies. Dolph Lundgren was born on this date, 1957. Russia. It was a great movie. Rocky IV ended the Cold War. Right? Rocky IV ended the Cold War. I mean, Reagan did a great job. But Stallone, Rocky, Drago, Yeah, Dolph Lundgren's birthday was today, 1957. Happy birthday. Let's see. What else happened? 1926, Annie Oakley died of pneumonia, or of anemia, rather. She was 66. The sharpshooter, Annie Oakley, born Phoebe Ann Moses. But a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't. Let's see. What else? Some presidential history here on this election day 2020. 1796, John Adams elected as the second president of the United States. 1868, Ulysses S. Grant wins the election. 1896, William McKinley defeats William Jennings Bryan. And 8 years later, William Howard Taft in 1908 defeats William Jennings Bryan. William Jennings Bryan, is he the male version of Hillary? Just completely loses. 1936, FDR wins a second term, defeating Alf Landon, the most lopsided election in American history in terms of electoral vote. And in 1936, Roosevelt had 523 electoral votes, 8 for Landon. Now remember, there were a few states not around yet, Arizona and Hawaii. But that's a difference of 515 electoral votes. 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson elected president in a landslide, defeating Barry Goldwater. 1992, Bill Clinton defeats H.W. Bush. So we pulled up, we was looking at the 1936 election with FDR, and winning by 515 electoral votes and 523 total. Now, Roosevelt would end up with 4 terms, the last and only president to do that, but he would win by margins of 413, 515, 367, and 333 in the Electoral College. Now, he had the most, 523 in 1936. That was the most until 1984, when Ronald Reagan had 525 Electoral College votes, 13 for Walter Mondale, who won, D.C. and Minnesota? Is that right? And Reagan won by 512, which is the second most in history. It's pretty interesting when you follow it. Trump in 16 won by 74, Obama 126 and 192. Bush won by 35 and 5. Clinton, 220 and 202. Bush Sr. by 315 electoral votes. Reagan won by 440 votes in 1980 over Jimmy Carter. Carter, who beat Ford in 76, only won by 57 electoral votes. Kennedy only won by 84. So there's been some close ones. Woodrow Wilson, 1916, 23 electoral votes he won by. So just a little knowledge for you, presidential history on this election day 2020.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Great show today. If you missed anything, we'll have it up, jasonwalkershow.com. Sue, I love you. I wish I could stay on for the next 8 hours, but I've got the little one. Now, we're keeping an eye on some close races, and I'll have some updates on the Twitter probably at JWalkerSports. Oh, by the way, let's wrap up our informal Twitter poll that we ran earlier. Who wins tonight, Trump or Biden? Trump 78.6, Biden 21.4. That's according to you, the voters, on my webpage. So there you go. Let's see. Get out and vote. No excuses. You have until 8 p.m. tonight. Okay? If you have not yet voted, get out and get off your butt and get to the polls and vote. And we'll have updates because we're obviously following the presidential race, but keeping an eye too on governor race in Montana, House race in Montana, and Senate race as well. Thanks to Senator Steve Daines for joining us. Tim McMahon, Helena Schools Activities Director. You've got volleyball tonight. Helena High hosting Flathead in the playoffs. Wear your mask. to the volleyball match if you're allowed to go. See if the governor's there. Well, he's going to be there watching his daughter. See if the governor's got his mask on tonight. And will the state be shut down? Depending on, no matter who wins tonight in the election, will the state shut down? We're going to follow that starting tomorrow. Tomorrow as well, Sam Fetzer joins us. Get an update on Michaela Boyette. Vote, no matter who wins. Be gracious and be humble, okay? Be gracious in victory, humble in defeat, or humble in victory and gracious in defeat, however it goes. We'll see you tomorrow at 4. Go to JasonWalkerShow.com.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.